My name is Dennis, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me. No, I'm not the guy from Jurassic Park, and we're not going to be building dinosaurs. Maybe raising some of their distant relatives, chickens and turkeys, but we're going to be building a homestead. It's not going to be a complete off-the-grid type homestead um, for a lot of reasons. One, I need to be probably closer to medical facilities, uh, not because I'm in any dire health needs. Note to self, don't do it when the clock's going to chime. So the next video should be better. We are going to be building a house and raise some chickens and turkeys. We're going to build a greenhouse. I want to get into some aquaponics for growing some of the food, and just various different modern stuff for the old-fashioned homestead. This whole process started years ago, many years ago. My wife and I had built a house and remodeled another home in New River, Arizona, and we really liked this one floor plan. We had talked about it several times, a lot of times, when we moved up to the greater Prescott area. And we decided on some changes that we thought would be beneficial for us, especially for an age-in-place type home. In 1999, my wife got breast cancer, and while she beat it, the cure wasn't the greatest thing for her health. Over the next 15 years, her health just kept getting worse and worse. And as she got sicker, we talked more and more about finding a small 1.5 to 2.5 acre plot in an area called Dewey, Arizona, that had a small home on it that we could live in while we built the house that we wanted to build. Unfortunately, my wife passed in 2014, and we hadn't accomplished any of that. So I just thought that with her, the dream went. In 2015, I heard about a coworker that was selling some property out in Dewey that had a small home on it, and it was going to be a for sale by owner, and it might be just what I was looking for. Well, that kind of revived the dream some. The next day I came out and drove around the area and found that it was about a mile and a half on a dirt road from the highway, and it was in a group of acreage homes, about a 40-acre plot that had been subdivided, some 1.5 acres, some 2.5, some 5s, some 10s, and I think there might even be one that's a little bit bigger than 10. But it was a nice, quiet little area. So I made an appointment to come out to see the house, and one of my daughters and I came out, and I thought it would fit the bill. So long story short, made an offer, we worked out the details, and we moved in July of 2015. I started putting together, drawing out on graph paper the plans, doing a lot of research as to what type of home I wanted as far as the walls and whatnot, and made some decisions. And this process has taken some time. We're now at the point where the plans are up at the county for review and approval. Once I get the approval, then we're off to the races. My life experience, has not been in a paid construction job. Most of my career was in law enforcement. So the only construction experience that I have is what I've learned from reading books, watching TV, and trial and error. Every house, every apartment that we lived in our 45 years, we made some adjustments to. And we even built one house from scratch. And by we, I mean my wife and I. We did 95% of the work, just the two of us. Did contract out the slab and the footings, and had some help putting the trusses up. But the rest of it was done by my wife, myself, or one of my kids. And it turned out to be a pretty neat house. So that's what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to do it. Again, I'm going to probably contract out the footings and the stem wall. The septic system, I'm going to also contract out. I know how to do all that stuff. It's just more economical, time-wise, to have somebody else come in and do those things. The rest of the items, putting in the subfloor and all the way up until the top of the roof, we're probably going to do just within the family. That being said, I'm debating yet on the drywall. I don't work well with my my hands over my head because of back issues. So it may make more sense to just have the drywall farmed out. The rest of the house is going to be the latest and greatest that I can find and not look like it's the latest and greatest. We're going to have radiant floor heat, wood floors. We're going to have a metal roof. We're going to put solar up. We're going to use SIPS panels, which are structural integrated panels, a layer of OSB, styrofoam, and polystyrene, and then either a layer of OSB or embedded studs. The whole process, I'm thinking, for the building of the house, that is probably going to be about 6.5 months. Less if I can help it, more if it has to be. We're also eventually going to build a greenhouse. We're going to get into aquaponics for raising some of the food, maybe all the food, I don't know yet. As far as animals, other than chickens and turkeys, I don't see right now where I'm going to get into goats or sheep or cattle or even the family milk cow. I don't think that that's the way I'm going to go, but that's subject to change. Why am I doing this on YouTube? Well, there's a lot of YouTube videos about building a house, off-grid living, homesteading. Most of them are done by younger couples, 30-somethings. If you add both of their age together, you come up close to mine. That being said, I still have dreams. And there are a lot of people my age, baby boomers, that are starting to retire and have this idea, maybe for a long time, about having their own plot of ground, doing things the way Grandpa and Grandma used to do them, and just the getting away from the hustle and bustle of the life that they've led all through their working years. So I want to show people that it's possible to do that. And it's possible to do it without breaking the bank to do it. By doing most of the work myself, by being my own general contractor, I'm going to save a significant amount of funds. By getting multiple bids from companies where I'm going to get my supplies, again, I'm going to be able to get the best product for the best price. And that's all part of building your home. So I think it's going to be an interesting trip. During the way, I'm sure there's going to be some bumps and trips and stumbles and whatnot. I don't know everything there is to know about construction. I read a lot. I watch a lot on TV. I watch YouTube videos. There's several of the Homestead ones that I follow religiously and pick up hints here or there. I don't have supplemental income other than my retirement, which, even though it was with the government, it was local government, so it's not as great as some of the other retirements. I worked my whole law enforcement career here in Arizona, and the pay scale is considerably less than that from someone that worked in law enforcement in California or New York. So my income is fixed, and I got to watch every penny. So I can't go out and buy these extravagant pieces of equipment, even used, to get stuff done. To me, it's going to be cheaper to hire that than it is for me to go out and buy this and then have to worry about trying to resell it. Although each item, as it comes up, I'm going to weigh the pros and cons and decide which is the best at that moment for that situation. I think it's going to be an interesting time. I've got relatives all over the country, and hopefully they're going to hit the subscribe button like I want you to, and follow me on this course. I will endeavor to read all the comments. Right now, I only foresee us being on Facebook and YouTube. I have no idea how to do Twitter or Instagram, so I'm not sure that I want to get into that learning curve right now. So these are going to be the two primary ways that I'm going to be sending out this information. I will read all the comments that I can read, not because I have trouble reading, but because if there's a ton of them, I can only do so much in one day. And if it's more important for me to build than to spend 6 or 7 hours reading comments, then that's what I'm going to do. Am I going to just ignore them? No. I'm going to endeavor to have several of my kids go through the comments every day and see if we can't pick out and answer some of the reoccurring questions or themes that are in the comments. That being said, I think this one's been long enough. The next one's probably going to be on the property, and maybe we'll get into the plans of the house at the same time. So until next time, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Bye.